Hopefully things are going well for you. As for me, I want to go ahead and talk about Manifold Garden. However, I can't do that with an empty stomach. So, with that totally said, looks like I'm going to have to figure out something quick for me to eat. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go find something to eat first, and then we'll go ahead and talk about the game. Alright, I already figured me out something to eat. It's one of them little Chef Boyardee ravioli cups. Well, two of them. Because, boy, oh boy, I am starving. It is early in the morning, and let's go ahead and... I'll go ahead and recap to you what's going on and what has been going on when I was playing Manifold Garden. Now, let's go ahead and recap. Now, Monday, December 7th through Thursday the 10th, that's December 2020. So, I did a Let's Play series going through and documenting, like, the beginning hours of Manifold Garden. And I was like, oh, hey, great. I thought this is a great contender for 2020. I missed this game out in 2020. This looks brilliant, and hell, man, great game of 2020. Yeah. Well, the game released last year. But when it released last year, it came out as an Epic Game Store exclusive and an Apple Arcade exclusive. So it didn't come out in 2020, it came out last year, except Epic Game Store exclusive. Yeah. But we'll go ahead and talk about, because let's go ahead. I'm gonna go finish my ravioli. Apple Arcade. Well, here's the thing: if you're loyal to like iPhones and iOS, then definitely people would be touching on Apple Arcade. All right, but Apple has not have a very great reputation outside of amongst loyal Apple fans when the iPod was introduced. I mean, they're loyal, really loyal to the bone Apple fans that are getting iPhones. They'll pretty much eat up Apple Arcade. But everybody else in the world, like, Apple has not had a very pleasant reputation. Apple is known for basically selling overpriced stuff. When, if you were to compare stuff to Samsung, they have made, like, affordable options. Any other mobile that makes for Android, that makes phones for Android. Like, when it comes to Samsung, they do not just make the Galaxy S10s and whatever. They make the A's models, and they make the affordable versions of their phones. Simple. Now, the same can be said for LG and Huawei or any other phone manufacturer for Android. So really, to be honest with you here, if you're not like one of them rich kids who are going to run out and buy out an iPhone, then yeah, you're going to wind up on an Android. Now, Epic Game Store. Let's talk about the Epic Game Store, because the Epic Game Store has not had a really, really pleasant reputation. And things really went sour when Samurai Showdown 2019's PC port became Epic Game Store exclusive, and oh my goodness. Now, I did try and give Epic Game Store a chance when it came to the Samurai Showdown Neo Geo collection, because it was free to access at the time. I tried to play the game, and then something went horribly wrong, and then it turns out I'm now having issues with the Epic Game Store launcher, and it's becoming a pain in the ass for me to basically access the game, even reinstall it, which I kind of felt the need to, and it was just really, I gave up on the Epic Game Store, and I gave up on Samurai Showdown. I'm like, you know what, fuck this shit. I'll get it either on Steam or I'll get it on Switch. I'm done. Now, to go ahead and recap, the Epic Game Store is another launcher, and PC gamers are essentially fatigued to have a Epic Game Store as another launcher to have in their lineup. Alright, people are too fatigued about that. Not only that, but Epic Game Store has been home to Fortnite. And Fortnite has not been having a great... Fortnite is a severely overrated game. And hearing about Fortnite is completely a nuisance. Alright? And another thing that I seem to notice, anything that's uploaded on the Epic Game Store seems to be like... It kind of feels like anything released exclusive on the Epic Game Store is nothing but a mere stepping stone for Fortnite. Now, cue the situation where I tried to play Samurai Showdown Neo Geo Collection through the Epic Game Store, and count all of the situations that had to go through. I remember YouTuber Appaben had to go through a certain situation and some hullabaloo involving the Epic Game Store. And another thing, there was the spyware allegations, which I forgot about discussing. I really forgot about. And there's been some other situations involving the Epic Game Store. And, yeah, there has been some very, very not so pleasant and very... It's just, the reputation around Epic Game Store is not so pleasant. My experience with Epic Game Store hasn't been very pleasant, and when it comes to trying to play a game from the Epic Game Store, you better pray that you have luck. Otherwise, oh well, things don't work out well for you. Oh well, we'll play Fortnite. We got Fortnite. So, with that totally said, with Epic Game Store's not so pleasant reputation, and Apple Arcade's not so pleasant reputation, the decision to release Manifold Garden on these two platforms kinda caused hindrance to the chance of Manifold Garden being explored. Nobody has not heard of Manifold Garden. I never even heard of Manifold Garden until it went multi-platform. It came out on Steam and other platforms. Now, when it came to Manifold Garden, I discovered Manifold Garden after revisiting Antechamber. Alright, give in mind to that. But, however, I have yet to basically receive, stuff in regards to games like Manifold Garden until basically, later around 2020. I thought, okay, it's an upcoming surprise indie release for 2020. Let's go ahead and check that out. I ended up thinking that this was a 2020 game. No, it was a 2019 game. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Manifold Garden. Alright, because Manifold Garden is kind of I'm trying to figure out the proper terminologies of describing things. It's like a gravity-based puzzle game where you wind up walking on walls and ceilings and sides of the building, roofs, whatever, etc. Wherever orientation you walk into, if there's a floor you can access to it, or something you can access to use as a floor, it shifts. And not only does things shift, the gravity, depending on your orientation, shifts. Hopefully, what I described makes a total lot of sense. However, like I said, I would just go ahead and... I'm just going to put up some gameplay footage of the stuff. And, of course, we can go ahead and just agree that if you check out my Let's Play series... in which, speaking of, I already played ahead and I already beat the game, which is really great. It's a fun, rewarding, interesting, challenging puzzle game. A really interesting puzzle game. And it is really big, in terms of aesthetic, because this game is just beautiful. It has, a beautiful aesthetic. So, yeah. And, of course, the soundtrack for the game is brilliantly orchestrated, and it was just brilliant throughout the whole road. The puzzles are really clever, the mechanics are clever, everything about Manifold Garden is just really clever. The music, especially the ending, I won't spill it out, but it's just a very interesting, odd, out-of-nowhere experience. And it's a really great hidden gem. Now, would I recommend Manifold Garden? Absolutely, because it's available on PlayStation 4, Xbox, especially Xbox Series X and S. There's Nintendo Switch, Steam, Itch, and of course you have the two platforms, Epic Game Store and Apple Arcade. With that totally said, I guess that's going to do it for this unique discussion video, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out.